Hello, everyone. This is your technology team, Dan Kelly and Erica Barden.
Hi guys.
All right, we're here to be bring you the tidings of some bad news and a workaround for it. And the news is that Braille is broken right now in Google Docs and in Microsoft Word. Kind of show you what happens in a Google Doc and ways that you can prevent this from happening with your students. The problem is that when you're in a Google Doc and when you're writing text, reading seems to be fine. When you try to write and edit text, then the cursor kind of goes all over the place and things just aren't captured that's being inputted from the Braille display. So let me do that first. So let me go down into the document.
Increase indent. Undo button.
All right.
Document contents. Space age equals home. Insertion point at end.
All right, so my insertion point is at the bottom. I'm going to click again
Insertion point at start.
to put it at the top. Now let's say this is a quiz that we're doing. This is a little technology cheat sheet that Erica did for one of her students. But let's say it's a test that we have to write in the functions of these commands. What do they do? So the first thing I'm going to do is put my name at the top.
A-N-K-E-L-E-Y.
All right, so I wrote that in, and my cursor on the Braille display shows me that Dan Kelly is in here,
New line.
and I'm just going to write a sentence. I am going to take this test.
Period.
Now, did it write all
Highlight point.
that? No. Okay. So, right now I'm trying to review what I have written, and it's just kind of hanging. It's stuck. It's not doing
Increase
anything.
indent. But document contents. Dan Kelly going to aid this estate.
Okay, so
Space age equals home.
Dan Kelly going to
4, 5, 6
AKE
equals bottom.
this
1, 6 equals left.
EST. So that's horrible. It didn't get half of what I tried to write here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the workaround for this. If you open up a Google Doc and Google Classroom like we have done here, what you're actually going to do is you're going to select the contents of this Google Doc by selecting all. And if you have a keyboard, this is very easy. You can do a Command A to select all, and when you do that, it'll
Dan Kelly.
all turn black.
Highlight point.
And now I'm going to
Space
copy
age equals
this
home.
with Command
1, 2, 3, 6
C.
equals top. 4, 5, 6. Copied selection to clipboard.
Now what I'm going to do next is open Notes, and I'm going to paste this into a new note. And the difference in the Braille is going to be remarkable. So you can go navigate to Notes, or you can just say, Open Notes.
Notes. Note. Text field. Is editing. Insertion point at start.
Okay, and we have a
To access
new
misspelled words.
note.
September 20. Note. Text field. Is editing. Insertion point at start.
I'm
Use
just
the rotor to access misspelled words.
Okay, I'm just going to make sure that it is completely blank, and I think it is. Now, it's a completely blank note, so what I'm going to do now is paste, and
Notes pasted from docs.
that puts our text back in here, all right? So I see I have my name, going to ache this test. I don't want this line in here, so I'm going to get rid of this line that says going to take this test, or going to ache this est is actually what it says. So with VoiceOver, I'm going to go to my text selection,
Words. Lines. Text selection.
and you can adjust the
Swipe right to
rotor
expand selection. Swipe left to shrink selection.
in 3 ways. You can do 5, 6 space on the Braille display. You can do Control Option Command right arrow on the keyboard, or you can spin your fingers on the screen.
Speaking rate. Text selection.
So if you're using the
Swipe right to
screen
expand
way,
selection. Swipe left to shrink selection.
then I'm going to swipe down to line selection.
Page selection. Select all. Page selection. Select all. Character selection. Word selection. Line selection.
There it is.
Going to aid this estate. Selected.
All right, so now I've done that, so I can hit backspace on the keyboard.
Selection deleted.
I can press D with space on the Braille display, or backspace, and it would get rid of it. So I'm going to write, so I'm gonna take this test. I mean, normally you wouldn't write that in there, but the Braille kept up. The notes kept up with what I was typing on the Braille display. So when we get down here, I'm just panning right. It says space H equals home, and if I want to insert what that does, I'm going to click to the right of the E of home. I'm going to put a space, and then I'm going to say goes to the home screen.
space F-C-R-E-E-N, period.
All right, it goes to the home screen. And I just pan down to the next one. 1, 2, 3 space equals top. And if I want to click beside the P of top, there we go. I had to actually click on the P and then click after it.
New line.
And I'm going to put goes to first item.
Dot catch O-E, space, T, space, to F-X-I-E-N, space.
So I think 2 is enough. So we're going to repeat this thing what we did earlier. I'm going to select all with Command A, Command C to copy it.
Dan Kelly, I am going to take test. Space H equals home goes to the home screen. 1, 2, 3 space equals top goes to first item.
So I copied it, and now I can Command Tab just like on the PC, my Command key and my Tab key until I get back to that Google Docs.
No.
All right, so now I'm back in my
Document
Google
contents.
Docs,
Dan Kelly, going to aid this estate.
and I want to make sure
Space H equals home. 1, 2, 3 space E.
that my
Dan Kelly,
cursor
I
is
point going to
in
aid
this
estate.
edit box
I like it.
somewhere.
Dan Kelly, I point going to aid this estate.
I'm going to select all again. It'll highlight everything,
Dan Kelly, I point
and then I'm going to
aid this estate.
paste.
I point. Pasted Dan Kelly, I am going to take test.
All right.
Space H equals home goes to the home screen. 1, 2, 3 space equals top. Insertion point at start.
So now I can look at it in Braille. Dan Kelly, I'm going to take test. All right. And then if I look down here, space H equals home goes to the home screen. So all my information is there. I can go to the top
Button.
and click my done button.
Done. Back.
It's saved. I can go
Close this
back,
document.
and then I can go to Google Classroom and I can click turn in. Okay.
Emily Wilson.
So
Navigating
real
left.
quick,
Edit. Button. Edit. Button.
what you can do as a teacher to kind of help out with formatting until we get this fixed, when you
Edit.
create your document,
contents. Dan Kelly, I am going to
if
done.
you look
Button.
above the document,
Edit. Undo. Redo. Insert. Format. But more actions. Button.
you've got all these little
Show
format
information on this.
indicators.
Off.
You know, like bold, italic, underline, and all that stuff. After that, there's 3 toggle switches for checklist,
Strike text color. Highlight center align text.
Numbered
Right align text. Toggle checklist. Toggle bulleted list. Off.
checklist, bulleted lists, and numbered
Toggle numbered
lists.
list. Off.
If you
Button.
turn those off, that'll prevent those things from automatically happening. So like if you do 1 period and you type, item number 1, when you press enter, you're automatically given a number 2. Go ahead and turn that stuff off and just type them in manually for now, because when you do the copy and paste from one application to the other, it messes up those auto numbers and you get some funky things happening. Another thing you can do on the voiceover side of things with the student is if you go into their settings and you go to voiceover and you go to rotor, okay?
Docs.
So if I get out of here
Dot. Zoom.
and I go
Zoom. Dot. Classroom. Outlook.
to my
OneDrive.
settings
Zoom. Settings.
and I
Double
go
tap. Settings.
down to
Emily Wilson. Airplane.
Accessibility.
Sounds. Do not disturb. Screen time. Selected. Control center. Display. Home screen and dot. Accessibility. Button.
Click
Accessibility.
there.
Heading. Accessibility. Vision.
go
Heading.
to
Voiceover.
voiceover
Voiceover. Accessibility.
and
Back
go
button.
there
Learn more.
and
Voiceover crack. Speak.
go to
speaking rate,
rotor.
speech, Braille. Verbose. Audio. Commands. Activities. Rotor. Button.
and go in there.
Voiceover, back button.
Then you'll see all these things that shows up when you go through your rotor settings, which is spinning, turning it on the screen or doing 5, 6 space or doing whatever. The main ones that you need
Selected. Characters.
are characters,
Swipe up or
words,
down to select custom action.
lines,
Then reorder characters.
headings,
Selected. Reorder word. Selected. Line. Selected. Text selection.
and this one,
Swipe up or
text
down to select
selection.
custom action. Then double tap to
Text
activate.
selection will allow you, when you're in that rotor setting, to select by character, word, line, page, or select all. So it really helps out when you're trying to just, select a little bit of the text, or if you want to select all, you'd go to select all, and then you can, when you go swipe right, it'll select that unit, whatever the rotor is set on. So try that. The main thing is the student opens the Google Doc, they get the cursor in the edit box, they select all and copy it, they paste it into a new note, they finish the assignment in notes, then they do another select all and copy, they go back to the original Google Doc that's still open, they select all and then paste, click done, and click back. Then they can turn it in Google Classroom, and it's much cleaner Braille to work with. This is not a perfect solution by any means, but it's just one we can use right now until we dig deep and resolve it. It's not just an OSSB issue. It's an issue that is happening with all iPads using VoiceOver and Braille in Google Docs right now. So it's either on the Apple side or the Google side. So globally, we're trying to figure that out. And if you have any questions, please contact Erica or I, and we'll help you out. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.